exactly. I don't remember. I don't remember that. I don't have any memory of that one.
Is a cry for
I don't
love.
remember. I honestly don't remember. I do not remember. I'm sorry, I just don't remember that.
Can rise up.
What our party stands for is revolution, and where we're coming from is that we think that this whole world is based on exploitation of the great majority of people by a handful of capitalist exploiters. This is the case all over the world. Nothing fundamentally good is going to happen for people unless and until that imperialist capitalist system is overthrown through revolution. That the very way the capitalist system operates is based upon exploiting and abusing people, and we work to bring out to people that those abuses that they hate stem from the very nature of the system, and it's going to be through that and through countering the lies that people are told about revolution and communism. People have been told lies about communism and socialism. You got these teabaggers saying they think Barack Obama is a socialist and a communist. Nothing could be farther from the truth. Obama is trying to save the capitalist system. Well, the kind of economic system would be fundamentally based upon taking the ownership, control, and domination of the economy, not only in this country but around the world, from the handful of imperialist capitalists, the major ones who are based here in the United States, and making that ability to produce what's needed for people to survive. The problem is he's trying to save the capitalist system. And if you're trying to save the capitalist system, the problems that people are up against in this crisis can't be dealt with, and in fact will be intensified. That's why the housing crisis has not eased out for the people who are losing their homes, although the banks have been bailed out, because that's what capitalism works on. It works on the concentration of wealth. Look at the world and how the world is being abused by their government in their name. They actually accept a lot of lies and distortions about what's going on around the world. That's something else. When you look at the problems that this system puts people up against, the prospect of drastic change is something that is up for people. And the question is, will it be in a good direction?
At one point in your life, you refused to deploy to Vietnam and as a result spent 2 years in prison. What would you say now to young men who are sacrificing their lives in Iraq and Afghanistan?
What I do say to young people, whether they're in the military or not in the military, is that you have to look at what these wars are really about. Because when I got drafted into the U.S. military in the 1960s, I had no idea what Vietnam was about, but I had a sense that I was being lied to by the government. I talked to other GIs who had been there. I asked them what had been going down, what had they been doing. Was it truly the case that the people in Vietnam didn't like the U.S. GIs, and why? And I understood from that that these wars were not to help the people in those countries, but actually to help the capitalist imperialists here in the U.S. continue to dominate those countries. And that's why people opposed it. And that's how I came to the point where I decided I had to refuse to go to Vietnam. And I tell youth today, whether they're in the military or not, you got to look at what you're doing and why you're doing it. And if you believe you're over there trying to help people in Iraq and Afghanistan, you have been sold a bill of goods. Look at the way this war is fought. Drone missiles destroying whole villages. Airstrikes called in on wedding parties in Afghanistan. That's not something aimed at helping people, and those are not isolated mistakes. It happens all the time. And a war like that is only fought in the interest of control and domination, not to spread democracy or provide security, either for people in Afghanistan or people in this country. And I say to them, if I had to do it again, I would refuse again, because I'm not going to be part of raining death and destruction on people in the interest of a handful of rich exploiters.
What do you think Obama should do today about the war in Afghanistan?
Well, what should be done about that is that the U.S. needs to get out. Just like the war in Iraq, this is a war that is based upon domination and control and should not be fought and should not be supported. So what the U.S. should do is pull out. Now, Obama cannot pull out because he is trying to save an imperialist capitalist system. And if you're an imperialist and you start pulling out of countries where you're fighting wars, you then send a message to other countries that your domination is vulnerable. And that's why he's already sent tens of thousands of more troops. In the end, decide to send tens of thousands more, because that control and domination of the Middle East, a strategic and resource-filled region, is too important for the U.S. global empire.
You're also a very outspoken critic and activist against police brutality in America. How bad is the situation? Is the police really out of control?
There is a nationwide epidemic of police brutality and even police murder. Far from being isolated incidents or, things carried out by rogue elements in the police force, this is the role the police are supposed to play. I mean, here in New York City, the police stop and frisk almost 2,000 people a day. The reasons that they do it, and this is what they say about it, someone was
I don't remember. I don't have any memory of that. I don't know. I honestly don't remember.